Hello students, today we're going to talk about box plots. Some people call these box and whisker plots because they've got a box and then they've got these long lines, sometimes the lines are short, that extend from either side. Really, let's just call them box plot. The whisker's not important. So eventually you are going to understand the relationship of this data set to this graphical representation. That's our goal. But for right now, let's just consider these test scores and make a dot plot of this data. Now, if you've never made a dot plot before, this is how you do it. You take a number line, and any number that you have, you put on the number line where it belongs. So 68 would be right there, and you make a little dot. Some people make X's. It's up to you. 72 would be right there. 75 has two scores of 75, so I got to put two dots. 66, 78, 88, and so on. I'll let you pause the video right now while you finish this. We're not doing anything with the box plot for right now, just making the dot plot. Now, with the magic of technology, hopefully you did pause the video and made your own dot plot. This is what it would look like. And there is some relationship of these dots to this box plot. But the next thing that this exploration wants us to do is they want us to write the scores in order from least to greatest. Well, it's a good thing that I made my dot plot first, because I wouldn't want to be looking at all of these scores and then deciding, having to search within here what was the lowest one. Instead, I can just look on my dot plot and say, oh, 44 is the lowest score. And then the next score up from there is 66 and then 68. And then the next score up from there, 71, 72, 73. 71, 72, 73. And then there are three scores of 75. And I have to list them all. And what I want you to do right now is to pause the video and continue to write out all of the numbers from least to greatest. One thing that I didn't mention, but that I always do, is I count how many data points there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 data points. So I better count these and make sure that I didn't miss any. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I know that I have transferred the information from the given data set to the dot plot to this list from least to greatest in the right order. It says by the end of this activity, you'll be able to understand how the diagram below, it's actually above, represents the data. Make one hypothesis of how the box plot represents the data. So looking at these dots and looking at this diagram, how do you think that the diagram represents the dots? I mean, I can see that this is in kind of the same place as this. And I can see that this is kind of in the same place as this. But as for the box and this line, I'm not exactly sure. But this activity will tell me what to do. It says find the median of the data. If you don't know what the median is, you are allowed to look it up. And we want to write this value under the box plot and mark it with an M on the dot plot. If you don't know what a median is, pause the video right now and look it up. A median is the middle value. So I could just let my fingers do the walking and go in and go in again and go in again and keep going one step at a time until I figured out where the middle value is. And it's right there in between 79 and 80. What would be halfway in between 79 and 80? says write this value under the box plot. 79.5 would be right there, and mark it with an M. Another way to think about finding the median is I know that there were 24 values here. We call these data points, even though they're just numbers. 24 data points. If I divide this in half, that means that I need to have 12 on one side of the median and 12 on the other side of the median. So I could have just counted to 12 and figured out, okay, that's the place that's in between. Either way, it's fine. The median is 79.5 because that is halfway in between 79 and 80. Then it says find, sorry, you weren't able to see that up there. Then it says find the value halfway between the minimum value and the median. The minimum value, that minimum value is 44. And the median value is 79.5. So again, I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to let my fingers find the median. And it would be right there halfway between 73 and 75. Right there. Halfway between the median and the minimum, I'm going to write this value under the box plot and mark it with Q1 on the dot plot. So 74 would be right there. So this is 74, and that is Q1. Then it says to find the halfway point between the median and the maximum. Well, the median was 79.5 and the maximum was 100. So coming up here, 79.5 to 100, rather than letting my fingers go into the middle, I know that there's 12 items here, so there must be 6 here and 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is going to be my median right there. In between this median and this maximum, the halfway point is between 82 and 88. So that would be 85. And 85 would be right here. And I'm going to mark that with a Q3 up here. And then it asks me what percent of the data is between 74 and 79.5%. Between 74 and 79.5. What percent of the data is from here to here? Between 74 and 79.5. Well, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 scores out of the 24 scores that were in the set. 6 divided by 24 is 0.25, so 25% of the data is in that area. And then it asks what percent of the data is between 79.5 and 85. Well, that's here. Between 79.5 and 85, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, that's 6 out of 24 scores. That again is 25%. So we're saying that 25% of the data is within this interval. 25% of the data is within this interval. What does that look like up here? That means that 25% of the data is there, because that's 74. That's the same thing as this right here. And that's the median, which is the same as that right there. And again, 85 is there, so that's this green part. That's another 25% of the data. And so then, what percent of the data, just thinking about it, is between here and here? How many dots are there in this dot plot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's another 6 out of 24. That's another 1/4. That's another 25% here, which leaves another 25% for this interval from 44 all the way up to there. My point is, even though the diagram shows that this is a much smaller space graphically than this length right here, the way I'm looking at it, numerically, there are 6 data points here and 6 data points here. They just happen to be much more spread out. So let's label the different parts of the box plot. What was important for you to learn about this? Well, min stands for minimum. This is the lowest value. And max stands for maximum. This is the highest value or the greatest value. The median, right here, that is the middle value. The first quartile, that is Q1. That is halfway in between the minimum and the median. The third quartile, known as Q3, is halfway between the median and the maximum. The range is all of this. That's the range. From the minimum all the way up to the maximum. But then there's something called the interquartile range, which is just this part right here. I'm going to call that the IQR. And that is from Q1 up to Q3. Now you might be wondering, where's Q2? If there's a Q1 and a Q3, where's Q2? And I'm sure that it's not that much of a stretch for your imagination to understand that it's here, but nobody ever calls it Q2, they only call it the median. Now, why do you think the term quartile is used to describe the numbers that determine the values where the whiskers in the box meet? Why would this be called a quartile? Well, considering that on the previous page we discovered that this divides this up into 25%, or each part of this represents a quarter. So here to here, from this part to this part, this is 1/4 of the data, which is where the term quartile comes from. So 1/4 of the data lives here on this portion of the box plot. But then it says what percent of the scores are greater than the upper quartile. Well, Q1 is the lower quartile and Q3 is the upper quartile. So what percent of the scores are above there? It really doesn't matter how long that line portion is, that whisker portion. We know that 25% or 1/4 of the data were in the first quartile, then another 25% in either portion of this box. So that leaves another 25% or 1/4 of the data in this portion as well. Let's summarize. If you need to construct a box plot, the first thing you have to do is write the data in order from least to greatest. Find the 5 number summary, which means you have to find the median, then you find the first quartile, you find the third quartile, and then you already know the minimum and the maximum. Draw a rectangle from Q1 to Q3, place a vertical line through the median. Draw line segments, also known as whiskers, from Q1 to the minimum from Q3